set the scene on a broken man, and kerosene and a little lamp, and just enough light to make out a figure. She got the thunder under her command, she got the lightning in the palm of her hand, and then now for the sun we can make it through the winter. And I can feel her breathing now. I got the ice in my veins, I would melt, but I don't know how. I keep the fear in the back of my head, I keep a photograph under my bed, but she knows where I am, and they watch me almost every day. And I can take all the memories, and I can blow them to smithereens, but the ashes would fall and they'd recollect a figure. Hold your hand till it stops its shaking, and we'll have enough sun we can make it through the winter. And we'll have enough light that will make it through the winter. And I'll hold you so tight that we'll make it through the winter.
All right. Whew. So we just got done taking a little ride over to about a 30-minute ride over to another town to pick up a load of concrete for today's project. And on the way, we stopped at a popular Maine destination.
Yes.
Called Rennie's. And Brenda bought some new boots, which we just showed you.
Yep. Needed some good weather, waterproof boots for the winter, and my budget was $100, but I found these for $69.99, so perfect.
Yeah. They were actually less expensive. I checked in the store on their website while I was standing there real time, and they were more expensive on the website than they were there in the store. So we actually got a pretty good deal. And that particular brand of boots, which is made in Canada, I purchased a couple pair last year, a snow boot and another boot, and similar, and really, really, really liked them. They got a liner that you can remove and whatnot. So. Anyway, real nice boots. And what else? Oh, we got the muffin pans there. The muffin pans were, so I've been looking for some cast iron muffin pans, and they had a couple different sizes there. I opted with the small ones, as you saw, because typically if I have those big muffins, I only eat like maybe half at a time. So I figured I'd give the small one a try, and those were pretty cheap. Those were $8. Yep,
$7.99. Yeah, we're just adding to our cast iron collection. We were also looking for some mini loaf pans, and they didn't have any in cast iron.
Right.
But we're gonna keep shopping.
Mini bread loaf pans we're looking for, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the not too big, smaller ones. They had the regular size ones. But
they did.
If you make a big loaf of bread and I'm the only one that eats it, it may have to go to waste, so.
Yeah.
And then I got these cool glasses for what, $2, $3?
$2.99.
Yeah. Throw away. I reckon I go through them. But then we went over to the big box store.
Yes.
As you saw, and that's always a fun experience, huh?
Yeah, we had called ahead of time to see.
Ahead of time.
Yeah, Tim called ahead of time to see if they could load a pallet into the truck, and they said yes, but they forgot to mention something.
Yeah. Well, the way I understood it was she says, oh yeah, no problem. We'll help you get that loaded either with a pallet or somebody will give you a hand loading it. And I thought, well, if they're going to give me a pallet, if they provide me a pallet, I won't bring one because I'll load it right on the pallet. I obviously want to have it on a pallet to be able to take it off of the truck with the tractor instead of one bag at a time. Don't tell me it's not going to start raining.
No, the sun's out. It's just going to be cloudy today.
Yeah, I know, but I just saw a couple of raindrops.
Oh, oh.
Hold on. You have to get a piece of plastic. Anyway, so come to find out, they wanted $25
Yeah.
after we paid
Yeah.
for it. Went through the register, and I said, well, I'm parked out front in the loading in the commercial contractor area, and I figured they'd come out and put the pallet of bags here on the back of the truck. And she says, well, you asked her, right?
Yeah, because he didn't mention that, you know, he wanted it loaded with a pallet when we were paying for it. So
Right.
I just wanted to make sure she understood that that's the kind of help we needed. But then she said, oh, well, you're going to have to pay $25 for
Right.
the pallet. You can bring the pallet back and get your $25 back. But yeah, we weren't told that this morning on the
Right.
phone. And
And
otherwise, we would have brought one.
Yeah, because $25 for a pallet is, I mean, it's probably not a bad price, but we're 30 minutes away, so
Yeah.
that's an hour trip to return a pallet that will probably spend more in gas, and we don't go there very often. So, and I got a pile of pallets. I didn't need to. I didn't drive all the way home. Fortunately, I know a location there in that area that I was fortunate enough. I just swung over a couple minutes over, and we picked up a couple pallets.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the store, and we got it loaded here. So we're gonna get this unloaded. Now, what are we doing with all this concrete? It's fall. We have a new mud mixer that we purchased recently, and we want to put it to use before winter.
This will be the first time that we're using it.
Yeah.
So, and this is a fairly small project.
Right, yeah, I wanted to pick something that wasn't too extensive and needed all kinds of framing and, what's it called, framing? It's,
Rebar.
Well, the rebar, but
Yeah.
basically the box work. I don't have any projects lined up here in the yard before winter. I should say it's fall now. So I did have this one project, and let me get the camera turned around. I'll just show you what it is.
Yeah, this was a small project and it needs to get done. So we figured it'd be perfect for
Let's show them.
our first try.
All right, so what we got here is, this is our service pole, comes into the property, and you can see, if you look up the road, you can see this pole here. When we purchased this property, these poles were already here. This was put in by the person that basically developed the property, paid whatever it cost to have the electric company run them in, run the poles. I think they got 3 here that they ran in on this right-of-way. So today, what I'm doing is, this is pole we're responsible for, and when we purchased the property, this pole was here. It was leaning over a little bit, and I fortunately have a family member that was able to give me a hand, because he climbs poles, or he used to, he's retired now. Hi, Uncle Steve. And we straightened the pole out. It was crooked, so we straightened it out and put another guy wire on here. And at the time that worked, it was great. Everything's fine, no problem. But last fall, I built this little area here to park the camper for the winter. Right now I've got this trailer parked in here with these IBC totes on here. But what I really want to do is take these guy wires that I put right here. They're called guy wires, G-U-Y, guy, we'll put it in spelling. And I want to move them a little bit closer to the pole. And the only reason for that is because if I can move them over, it gives me a few more feet of parking space that I don't have to worry about and plowing in the winter and keeping clean and whatnot. I don't want to hit these. I haven't hit them, I haven't come close or anything, but now that I've got a parking area here, I certainly don't want to take any more chances. And again, this is just for parking for the camper, but we would like to be able to not have to mess with these guy wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate these wires a little closer to the pole here. And I actually dug the hole last fall, and it filled up right up with water. There's a lot of water in the ground right here. Our well is actually right over here. And when I filled this up, I should say, when I dug this hole last fall, it pretty much filled up with water. And I knew that with all the rain that we had this past spring, that there was no way I was going to get around to being able to do this project until the fall, which is perfect time before winter. The ground's finally dry enough, and I've got the materials here. This is going to be the pipe that we're going to put in right up here on the pole. It's going to go right in here, and that's going to allow us to take this wire and go straight down. All right, here's the plan real quick. I'm going to get up to the top of this pole right here. We're going to tie this pole off to this maple tree right over here so I can relieve the tension on these two guy wires. Okay, chain around this post here. This post here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a come along on there. And I got a strap to the tree. And now we'll hopefully just pull it over. Ellie? Okay. I'd say that's probably good right there. I'm gonna try to remove my weight from it. I think I have enough tension on it. Oh boy, I'm changing the weight. Can you hand me a screwdriver right over there, please? Ooh, that works. Okay, perfect. Next step, get the old ones out. Yep. Okay. Wow. Oh, it looks like we lost our sunlight here. All right, well, while Brenda's finishing filling that hole in, I've got one of my new favorite tools here, my DeWalt cordless 90-degree grinder, and I'm going to see if I can't cut that post, the guide wire that's holding that in the post right now.
Got a stick, Ellie?
There it is.
Yay.
All right, day 2. I'm gonna gather up a few materials, including the mud mixer. I need a garden hose and some power to run the mud mixer.
You're still playing with the codeine, never gonna break your head. I'm still trying not to be nice, think twice, everybody's in their bed. We've been living on the road, now slow down, everything will be alright. Don't go thinking it's a big deal, unreal, everybody sleeps tonight. It's been hard, everything falling apart. Lift me up, get me back to the start. It's been hard not to feel good, real good, even on a cloudy day. I've been fighting from the get-go, so no things about to go my way. You're still living in your headspace, never gonna come on out. I'm still wishing I could find space, some trace, a lot of words to carry out. It's been hard, everything falling apart. Lift me up, get me back to the start. I've been living in a suit now, lowbrow covered with city lights. Everybody here keep their head down, baby, I'm the only one awake at night. They're still walking in a line now, midtown, never seem to stop or stay. I'm all sewn up in the mid-seam, midstream, think I'll have the other way. It's been hard, everything falling apart. Lift me up, get me back to the start. Get me back to the start.
All right, finally wrapped this project up today. Obviously, everything takes a little longer than I planned for some reason. Wow, we get another beautiful day. October 27, looking like another 70-degree day. Another couple of nice days here, and then, believe it or not, that 4-letter word starting with S. Might be seeing some of that flying around. But at any rate, gonna cover this up now. Everything came out real nice. Just wanted to go over a couple quick things I learned about the mud mixer, and maybe just cover a couple things about why I did this project. So firstly, on the mud mixer, I got to tell you, that was our first time using it, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Watched a lot of videos on people using the mud mixer, and They made it look really easy. The company makes it look really easy. We decided, when I say we, a friend of mine and I went in half and half on this mud mixer, and there's a video about that. See if I can remember, put a link to that, explaining why we purchased it. And what I wanted to do here with this, my objective for trying this is, I'm not a concrete guy. Don't like working with it. Never did. Have before. The wheelbarrow, the drum, you know, making concrete. Matter of fact, Brenda and I had 3 yards of concrete brought in to complete the end of this pad right here, 16 by 16 section that we had a truck bring in when we purchased the property, and we ended up, the two of us, just kind of framing that up and finishing it off. So I'll do it if I need to, and the problem is I got a lot of projects coming up that are going to be needing concrete. So does my buddy. So we decided to go in on this machine, and that's the reason we have one. So this particular project gave me the opportunity basically to just kind of try it out and see how it worked. As I just mentioned, that I watched a lot of videos, and there were a lot of good tips and tricks on how it works. So what I found was the machine did a couple weird things that I wasn't expecting it to do, I guess you'd say. I think it's all in the design, and let me just explain real quick. Basically, as I was feeding the concrete in and it was pushing it out the other end, I noticed that occasionally it would kind of get blocked or stopped, and it would automatically kind of kick in reverse momentarily and then go forward by itself. So I'm pretty sure that's got to be a design feature, that they realize that, you know, occasionally the rocks and the stones are going to jam stuff up, and instead of frying something, they just designed it so that it would maybe kick back. I'm assuming that's how it would work. Occasionally it would just stop and shut off, and we would just hit the reverse button for a second or two, and it would just continue on. That was the major issue, I think, that I had, other than the water. The water issue I found with it was that we have a well pump here, and of course, as the pressure drops in my well tank, then the pump's kicking on and off constantly. And I do have a device that's made to inline in the water line, that's made to kind of keep it consistent so the pump doesn't constantly kick on and off. So I'm sure that helps somewhat, but I was basically trying to continually dial it in between about 45 and 50. I noticed at one point, if I put it at 45, it seemed to occasionally dry up, so I'd turn it up a little bit, and it would get a little soupy, so I'd turn it back, and I kind of had to babysit a little bit. I'm not sure if I was doing something wrong with that. And as I said, basically what this project kind of did is there was no rebar in here, there's nothing. I didn't even need to do the concrete, to be honest with you, for this hole. Rocks would have been more than sufficient. I have more than enough rocks in there. I'm going to cover it with dirt. As I said, this was basically a chance for me to kind of experiment with the machine, kind of get an idea of what projects I got lined up and what I'm going to be dealing with, and not have to learn the machine when it comes time to doing those other projects. I kind of understand what I'm going up against now, and in terms of, like, for example, I bought 80-pound bags, and if I want, I mean, I seem to be able to handle that. I did 22 in less than a half hour. I don't feel any sore today, I guess. I seem fine, but I can always cut back and go 60 or 40 pound, whatever, something smaller if I wanted to. The problem with that is you have more bags, so you extend the amount of work. I don't know, half dozen one, 6 dozen another, whatever. 80 pounds are working for me. It worked. I got it done. Feel fine. If I'm going to do a big project, yeah, maybe I'll do smaller bags. However, other than that, I got to say, it was fast. I mean, I had a hard time, even with the extender on top. I had to continually, I was pumping bags in there as fast as I could, and that thing was just pumping it out the other end. I'm going to say, on a good sized project, you got to have 2 people. You got to have one person just loading that thing up, or you're just shutting it down all the time, because once it makes a pile of it, you got to spread it out, depending on what you're working on, obviously. But as far as I was concerned, it worked fine for me, because I didn't have to move the machine. It was just dropping in a hole, and if it came out great, great. If it didn't, it's still solid and it's heavy, and it's going to work for what I wanted it to do, so I'm perfectly fine with it. So I'm going to go ahead now and just cover this up with dirt, finish this project up, and then I'm going to explain why I did it. All right, well, that worked out pretty well. You know, like my little drag here I got. Use that to drag the road. Came out real nice and smooth. I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible because parking the camper, and hoping to be able to park the Mahindra loader and the backhoe for the winter, because I don't have a smooth, flat, hard surface in the area, and that's what's really, really required or recommended for parking your implements on the ground. This is the best area I can see. So opening this up really gave us a lot more room. The old wire, guy wire that used to be here came out to, I don't know, probably 7-8 feet out over here somewhere. And by moving it back here, it just makes this whole area much more accessible. I don't have to worry about hitting it with anything, whether it's parking trailers in here, equipment. It was just a bit of a tight spot. By opening this up now, we can put a little retainer wall. There's maybe a little garden just to keep this area safe from anything hitting it. But other than that, it just gives us enough room now to, before I only had really enough room to park the camper in here, right on this area. But now I'll be able to put the tractor implements over in this area, and they'll be able to stay here for the winter. I got to put the snowblower on the tractor, and I got to take this off, and I don't look forward to doing it, especially without a hard, smooth, flat surface to do it on. It can make it a bit of a challenge. So this is the best I could come up with for now. Who knows, maybe we'll put some concrete down here at some point, but of all the land we have on this property, which is approximately 4 acres, most of it is what you see here in the wooded area. And well, in the 7-8 years we've been here, what you see here is pretty much what we've opened up. You know, there's not much here except a bunch of trees, and we're just trying to make the best use of our land here and what tight quarters we have in the little space we have. So as you can see, we already took down the wire and everything is nice and tight. Well, that's it for this little project. Came out real good, real happy about it. Gives us a lot more space over here for parking stuff. And you know, it was a 3-day project. It shouldn't have taken me 3 days, but 3-part days anyway. Came out good. Anyway, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you'll be around, join us in the next video. And you all have a good day. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.